Render distance in Minecraft has always been kind of interesting. The value of your render distance basically determines how many chunks you're able to see from where you're standing. One chunk is 16 blocks. So if you would set your render distance to 1, you would be able to see 16 blocks far. Now the maximum render distance of Minecraft Java Edition is 32, which is this. Now because I have shaders, it blends in a little bit, but when I disable my shaders, you can see a very clear line on where the 32 chunks end. Now 32 chunks give you quite a significant overview of the world. I'm able to see a lot here. You would think there's nothing to complain about. And still, I'm gonna complain. Because when you play Minecraft Bedrock Edition, you're able to set your render distance all the way to 96 chunks. That is so incredibly much. But what might be even more crazy is that the recommended render distance for Bedrock is actually 50, which is already a lot higher than the max render distance of Java. Just to give you a quick look at what 96 chunks looks like, just take a look at this. It just keeps going and going and going. I mean, don't get me wrong, 32 chunks looks like a lot until you see this. It is still going. It's still generating more terrain. Okay, now it's done. There we go. 96 chunks in Minecraft. Now the main reason for this difference between render distance limit is that both Java and Bedrock Edition are coded in a different programming language. And the one Bedrock is coded in is just a lot more optimized. But the thing is, I don't care. I'm a Java Edition player first. And I also want this crazy render distance in Java Edition. Of course, without experiencing a huge performance impact. And what have I told you? That is actually possible. With the use of some amazing mods. Make sure to subscribe to my channel if you've not done so yet, and let me show you how to get it working. When we talk optimization, we talk Fabric. So all the mods I'm about to show you are for the Fabric loader and not available for Forge. First up, we have Sodium. Of course, it's an alternative to Optifine, but available for the Fabric API. And to my opinion, if you're looking for an optimization mod, this is the way to go. Also, it is required to get this all working, so make sure to install it onto your Fabric client. Then you also want to install Bobby. So Bobby is a Minecraft mod that allows for render distance greater than the server's view distance. Now, while this is already great on its own, Bobby also allows you, after tweaking a couple of things, to set a render distance that is higher than 32. And that is what we're gonna use it for. So make sure to download this one too. And also very important is the Cloth Config API. It's an API that you just need to have installed on your Fabric to make this all work. You also want to get Mod Menu, which is a mod that gives you a list of all the mods you have installed on your client. Now, while we don't really care about having a list of all our mods, we can also use the mod menu to change some settings. And as we need to configure Bobby a little bit, mod menu is required. And last but not least, the mod that will make all of this possible without impacting your performance drastically is Nvidium. Now, Nvidium is a really cool mod with a massive downside, and that is that it only works on Nvidia systems. So if you have an Nvidia GPU, aka graphics card, then you're able to use Nvidium. If your graphics card is anything else than Nvidia, you will not be able to install this mod. You can still expand your render distance, but the whole experience will be a little less optimized. But if you want a higher render distance and you also still want your game to run smoothly and you have an Nvidia GPU, then Nvidium is highly recommended. It is still in beta, so it might have some bugs here and there, but from my own testing, it works pretty well. So make sure to install this one too. After installing all of these mods and rebooting Minecraft, we're gonna change a couple of settings. First of all, you should see a brand new button on your title screen called Mods. You wanna click on there, then you wanna look for Bobby, and here on the top right, there's a configuration button. When we click on there, we're able to change the Bobby config. And over here, what you wanna do is set your max render distance to 96. Now, there is also a single player server view distance option. It says that it overrides the view distance of the integrated server. This allows Bobby to be useful in single player. Now, I found that setting this to 32 works the best for me. So I'm just gonna leave it on 32. And we're gonna save and quit, click on done. And now we're going to options, video settings. This whole menu might look a little bit different for you depending on which mods you have installed, but you should see a general tab. And in there, you also have an option called render distance. This one we can now put up all the way to 96. Just like that. Now you should also have a new tab called Nvidium. And over here you will see the region keep distance. So the distance to keep loaded regions. Now I found that for me, it also works best when I just set it to 96. I don't know if these are the best settings. You might want to frick around with it a little bit, but these settings worked great for me. So then we're just gonna apply, click on done, and let's join a world, shall we? So here we are inside of a brand new world, loading in new terrain, and in a bit you will see that the render distance is absolutely crazy. I'm able to see stuff that is so crazy far away. It is actually insane. This is what you can see when I zoom in all the way, and when I then zoom out, bloop. That's absolutely crazy. Render distance 96, man. Render distance 96. The fact that everything is loading so smoothly for me is because of Nvidium. If I go to my settings and I disable Nvidium for a little bit, you can see that the world is loading in. It's not slow by any means, but it's also not quick. And it kind of defeats the purpose of having 96 chunks available to you. While if we enable Nvidium again, just see how quick everything loads in. Look at that. Now, of course, this goes for chunks that have already been generated. The generating of chunks itself also goes a bit quicker, at least from what I can see from my own experience, but it will still take a little bit longer. Though after terrain has been loaded, if you want to reload it with Nvidium enabled, that happens very, very quickly. So this is without Nvidium. Loading, loading, loading. Actually takes a crazy long time, man. But now when we enable Nvidium, just look at this. Just look at this. It is so immensely quick. This took 5 seconds and the generation is literally done. But without Nvidium, that took like a full minute. Now, I'm fully aware there are a lot of people out there who don't have an Nvidia graphics card. And unfortunately, that mod will not work for you if that's the case. You can still get this crazy render distance, but with the slower loading times, you might be able to benefit a little less from it than if you have Nvidium installed. What is also very good to note is that when I enable shaders, Nvidium will automatically disable itself. So now I'm still able to see 96 chunks away, but the world will just load normally and not through Nvidium. So that is for sure a downside for people who like to play with shaders, just like me. Now I hear you thinking, Kasasora, why stop at 96? Why not just set the render distance to 200, for example? Well, let me show you what happens when we do that. Look at the mountain peak there. We can still see it. Everything is starting to become a bit glitchy though. Like, this is not normal. But still, we're able to see it. Let's see for how long we can keep seeing that mountain peak. Hi, Jingle Biome. Bye, Jingle Biome. Okay, I've been flying for like 2 minutes now at this point. Can I still see? Yep, there's the mountain peak. It's still there. It never ends. Flying through the sky. I can still see the mountain peak. What the hell? Oh, wait. You see that? It's fogging. Oh, there it goes. It fogs and it disappears. It disappears. There it goes. It is finally unloading. And just to show you how far away we are, this is a tree. And I'm over here. It will literally take me like 5 minutes to get back there. That's how far away we are. So like you can see, this is totally possible. Now you might wonder about my frame rate. Currently it is still around 117 FPS. Just for your information, my limit is currently set to 120 FPS. So it's pretty much hitting that limit. Now my GPU, like you can see, is reaching around 80% load, which is expected. I have an Nvidia RTX 2080 Ti, which was like the newest card 4 years ago. So it is for sure showing its age, but the fact that I'm still able to set my render distance to 250 without experiencing any lag is just incredible. Personally, I think that everything above 50 will basically become kind of useless. But hey, maybe you have a purpose for this. Maybe you need this 90 render distance for a project you're working on or whatever. Then totally go for it. And now you know how to do it. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to press subscribe if you've not done so yet. You would really help me out a crazy lot. You actually would. Also, huge shout out to my channel members for the incredible support. Thank you guys so much. And then I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.